Hey guys, it's Fury91, and I'm talking about how Nintendo seems to want us to buy physical copies of their games and not digital copies. Now, where is this coming from? Well, apparently, already one game before the console's released now, one game is too big to fit on the hard drive. That game is Dragon Quest 1 and 2. It is 32 gigabytes, meaning that it's too big to actually download if you don't have a micro SD. Meaning that you either have to buy the physical copy or you have to get a micro SD or have one already if you want to play Dragon Quest 1 and 2. Now, there is actually some good here. Even though there is, I guess, for people who like digital downloads, a lot of bad. So I'm going to talk about the bad first. Obviously, if you're the type of person who wants to buy a bunch of digital games only, then you are going to be out of luck. Unless you have a micro SD card that probably is at least 256. I'm not even going to say 128 because if the game is 32 gigabytes, that's only like 4 games before your micro SD runs out, basically, if you buy games that size. But if you're someone who doesn't have one already and isn't planning on buying one, then you have to get the physical copy. That kind of does suck for people who want like their digital copies, who don't like to go out to the store and buy the thing, who would rather just go to the eShop and buy it themselves, or maybe get the code from Amazon. Now, to me, this doesn't make too much of a difference because I plan on buying a bunch of physical games anyway. In fact, the only reason I buy mostly digital for my Xbox One is because there's no point in me going to the store and getting a physical copy, bringing it home, putting the disc in, and having to wait for it to download. When I can just go on to the actual library and just download the game. Xbox and PS4, in my opinion, do not make buying physical games worth it because you have to download them anyway. Now with Nintendo, at least I don't have to download the game, so I plan on buying physical copies mostly for the Switch, just like I did for the Wii U. Now, another reason I think this is really good is because this to me means that Nintendo probably won't limit third-party developers. Let me explain it this way. Most third-party AAA games, let's face it, they're like 40 gigabytes or more, right? Now, the Nintendo Switch has 32 gigabytes of system memory. So I was actually wondering whether, would Nintendo limit third parties telling them, no, you have to make sure that the game can fit on our system memory. And based on this, before this console's even out, they already have a game that doesn't fit, means they won't. In my opinion, I think that means that Nintendo, when a third-party developer comes and they want to port their game over to the Switch and it's like 53 gigabytes, Nintendo won't be like, okay, you need to make that smaller. No, they'll just put out a 64 gigabyte SD card probably to make the cartridges, and they'll have it on their system. To me, this means that Nintendo won't be limiting third-party developers who have games that are actually bigger than the system memory. And that's a good thing in my mind, because that means that third-party developers will be able to work much more easily with Nintendo, I believe. Now, what do you guys think about this? Is this good news or bad news to you? Do you guys even plan on buying mostly digital or physical? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and may God bless you all.